What's up, gamers? It's your boy See-Through here with another Frost Blizzard Sorcerer build here, and we've actually officially gotten rid of Ice Shards, so this is a Blizzard-based build. I'm going to walk you guys through everything. We're going to have timestamps below. We're going to talk about the first thing we're going to speak about. I'm going to run you through a couple mobs in the dungeon, show you kind of the rotation of things to where we can maximize our damage. We are in a tier 61 Nightmare dungeon right now. And I have no problems killing elites. In 61, still a little bit of survivability issues, but I have plans to fix all that. I'm going to let you guys know what gear I'm still looking forward to. So right now our crits from Blizzard are anywhere between 300k to 900k, but I still have plenty of room for improvement for the gear rolls that I have at least, and a couple different switchy-swatchy enchants. But we're going to run you through the dungeon. Just a little bit here to give you an idea. Maybe you're thinking about switching to a Blizzard build, tired of Ice Shards, or you're doing something else like Fire and Lightning, and you want to see, you know, potentially what else is out there. This build is super fun and super powerful. So yeah, we're gonna run you through the dungeon, then I'm gonna break down the skills, the skill tree, the Paragon, everything. If you want a specific thing, there will be timestamps down below, so let's go ahead and get into it here. So pretty much the idea and what I do normally, I'll show you here. I do 3 blizzards, and I teleport in. Now what that's going to do is 2 things, and I'll explain all this in further detail down the road. So I'll do 3 blizzards, I'll teleport in, and I'll Frost Nova. And right there, I applied 3 separate elements of damage, so we automatically get our 15% increased damage from the elemental glyph. And what that's also going to do is it's already, you know, building my 3 stacks on the ground. I see a mob up there, I teleport in, I Frost Nova, and then I just start blizzarding more blizzards. And then, you know, if they come back to life, I teleport in again, because this is also to pull everything into the spot of the blizzard, and I'll show you that in just a second. And if we are in fact fighting a really strong elite, it's very rare, but if I need to drop a meteor to help me with some additional damage, that is available as well. But meteor is definitely not required for this. You could run something like Flame Shield or Mana Shield or something different if you really wanted to, but I see no reason to mess with it at this point. But let's go ahead and see if we can find a little group of elites, and preferably not die, so I don't have to record this again, because that would be absolutely lame. 1, 2, 3, pull them all into the blizzard spot, and technically I don't have to do anything else, right? Like, I just do the 1, 2, 3. Everything else is additional at this point, so I'll show you guys exactly what I mean here. We'll try and find a pack of elites, or I'll just try and pull these guys all in this middle spot here. And you'll see that everything just kind of dies. Now, 61, right? If I don't have all of my damage up, I die instantly, so I got to be a little bit more careful. Usually, for the most part, I'm pretty tanky, but there's still one more tanky item that I need in order to really get my survivability up. But I'll try and do a little bit better job here showing you. Alright, so there's a group of elites right there. You can see that they're, you know, taking substantial damage. I could drop a meteor on them just in case. And for clearing up these mobs, you can kind of blizzard around and teleport to get them all into one spot, and they'll just eventually die. We'll find another wad here. So 3 blizzards, telly in. I typically use my evade teleport, because your evade teleport can't get you out of a, you know, can't make you unstoppable and get you out of a CC. Like your 1 can, but your evades cannot. So I try to typically use my evade ones to teleport in if I can remember right. You really want to get the rotation right to maximize the damage, that's for sure. You want to do the 3 blizzards, you want to telly in so you get your electric damage, and also when you hit them with your electric damage, you're also going to catch them on fire as well. So that's going to get us our burn. So here we go, we get a group going, bring them all in, and they instantly die. So clearing trash mobs is pretty simple. You know, with any higher tier nightmare dungeon, killing elites can be quite a task here, so let's see if I can do a little bit better this time. There we go. There we go. All the blizzes. Get them all in the middle. Oh, that'll also help us get them closer together as well with the Shatter Key passive that we're running here, which is going to be pretty nice. And I'll just find one more elite pack here just to show you. Okay, that wasn't an elite pack. Give me some strong boys. Give me some strong boys. All right, well, that wasn't what I wanted, but sure. Sure. There we go. Not too terribly bad. I'm gonna freeze and die here on accident. All right, there we go. Not bad, not bad, not bad. You know. Okay, whatever. You guys get the point. Let's get into the next part of it. All right, so I'm going to try and make this as in-depth as absolutely possible because this is my level 100 final form, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to go over the skills here real quick. I, for the longest time, did not want to jump on the Devouring Blaze Firebolt train, but you know what? I ended up doing it because it's just too good to not do. So we've got Teleport here, and then we've got Blizzard, Frost Nova, Deep Freeze, Firebolt, and Meteor. So Deep Freeze and Meteor are kind of, you don't really need them for this build, but, you know, sustain, stay alive, more damage, it doesn't hurt. So we go with the Teleport enchant, which converts our 4 evades that we have into teleports, which is a big part of this build, honestly. And Firebolt, you know, to catch everything on fire with our abilities. So Blizzard itself, if you're starting this build out, Blizzard itself does not actually catch fire to enemies with the Firebolt thing. But what does catch fire to them is the Blizzard enchant itself. So like Deep Freeze Ice Spikes or Blizzard Ice Spikes, both of those actually, you know, cause the burn. So we're going to start with the skill tree here. 3 points into Firebolt. Absolutely nothing in core skills, which feels nice to not actually have ice shards and to still be, you know, doing some pretty big damage. Here's our first point. So you're going to see a lot of defensive stats. You don't technically need these until you start grinding the higher tier Nightmare dungeons. I did fine up to 30 and 40. And 45, I started dying a lot, and I needed more survivability. Obviously, I still need more survivability. If you watch the beginning of the video, you'll see that. But also, I didn't want to take any core abilities, so I figured, you know, in replacement of, I'll get Potent Warding, which is going to give me a little bit more resistance, although All Resist doesn't really help a lot, apparently, in comparison to armor. I still took this instead. So this is the 3 that got me down here. I actually don't have anything in ice armor. This is all item contribution from defensive skills buff, but we got the, you know, the item that gives us plus $3 defensive skills. I do have 4 points in teleport, plus 3 on the item contribution. I've got 3 points in glass cannon, plus 1 piece from the raiment of the raiment chest piece, and 3 from my amulet, which I am actually going to explain. I'm looking to change this to Devouring Blaze on my amulet if I can find it, because the Devouring Blaze overage on the 3 out of 3, you know, when you go 4 out of 3, 5 out of 3, 6 out of 3, 7 out of 3, scales a whole lot more than glass cannon does. Plus, you don't take additional damage. So I'd actually like to get this back down to just 3 out of 3, so that I'm, you know, only taking like 12% more damage instead of 21% more damage. But currently, until I find Devouring Blaze Amulet, that's what we got to rock. But that's going to be probably the best for this build, is a amulet with plus 3 Devouring Blaze on it. So we've also got maxed out Frost Nova for the cooldown reduction. And also, real quick, Enhanced Teleport and Shimmering Teleport. to give us some more damage reduction. And on Frost Nova, we've got the vulnerable tree on this one. So we're going to go down here. Once again, absolutely nothing in Conjuration. But we did take Alignment of the Elements, full Mana Shield, and Protection. All of this, as well as the Increased Barrier Duration. So this is all survivability stuff that I was talking about. You don't need this stuff up until you need it. You know what I mean? So all those extra points, you can pump them into wherever the heck you want to pump them into. But Blizzard here. Obviously, Blizzard's going to be our main source of damage, but technically you could have 1 point in Blizzard here and still pretty much do the exact same amount of damage. So if you got points, you want to put points somewhere else, you can put them somewhere else. The damage comes from Blizzard, but it doesn't come from Blizzard, if that makes sense, because I've put 1 point in here before, and it still seems like it does just the same amount of damage. So I don't know exactly how the scaling works, but you don't need it. If you need it somewhere else, you don't need it here. So... also went with the... Hold on, this is supposed to be... No, that's in the right spot, right? Yeah, duration. Yeah, 4 seconds. Okay, cool. I was like, hold on, why is that in the wrong spot? But no, this is increased duration to make it to where your blizzards last for 12 seconds, I believe. Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. We got 1 point in Meteor, so we can get the Immobilize in order to trigger the 75% damage increase from Devouring Blaze. But... you know, very rare that we actually do need to do that, but it does work very nicely, if I do say so myself. I also played around with Fist of Fate and a lucky hit chance to do immobilized damage, but I actually got rid of all the lucky hit chance things because I'm not running Avalanche. So, you know, I'm not getting any really lucky hit. I'm not building any lucky hit chance, honestly. So, kind of steered away from that. So... 3 points Devouring Blaze. Like I said, I want this to be 7 out of 3 if I can end up getting the amulet for it, because it goes from 75% increased bonus. Putting 1 point into this takes it up to like 120% increased bonus damage. Like, it's huge. So I can't wait to see what 7 looks like on that. We come down here and I take Icy Touch, Hoarfrost, and Permafrost, which is going to give us increased frost skill damage. Ultimately, and then I take Shatter Key. Now, for some reason, it seems like I'm missing a lot of pieces. Oh, yeah, this as well. Deep Freeze, and then allows me to gain my life back and cooldown reduction. So, while I'm in Deep Freeze. So, just an extra thing. Once again, you don't need to have Deep Freeze in order to make this build work. Hopefully, I'm not getting too far off the beaten path here. I just get a little bit invested and talk about this kind of stuff. So, next thing we're going to look at is the gear. So I'm going to show you guys my skills real quick, my stats that are important for this build. Critical strike chance, 35%. Try and keep it between 35 and 4 or 30 and 40. I think anything over 40 is probably completely useless. So you can trade your crit chance out. If it's around 30%, 30% is pretty dang good. I almost never don't crit with 35%. So constantly looking for additional critical strike damage if I can find it anywhere. I barely inched my way up from like 40% strike damage up to 110. Still some room for improvement there, but I'm still, you know, on the lookout for it. Vulnerable damage, 176. Overpowered damage, I don't really want, like, I don't want overpowered damage. If I could just convert all that overpowered to vulnerable, that would be so much better. Damage versus chilled, 232. We got damage with fire, 400%. Damage with cold, 560%. And then the lightning and poison and shadows, all 284%. We come down to the bottom here. We've got armor contribution, 50%. More armor contribution. What's the other things here? Max mana, 100. I actually do need to get more max mana. Mana cost reduction, 22.3. Cooldown reduction, almost 40%. And damage reduction, 92%. Armor contribution, 65. Okay, so that's my stats. I am going to tell you about the pieces that I currently have and the pieces that I want to replace them with, that I'm actually looking. Stats I'm actually looking for. And it's insane that I haven't found anything in such a long time. This is a level 85 chest, and these are level 85 boots. Like, I need to replace the boots, the chest, the pants, and the freaking gloves. Like, the gloves aren't... what I have right now is not bad, but it can still be better. I'm looking for max health on a helmet. You want to look for max health on a helmet, absolutely. Intellect, cooldown reduction, mana cost reduction, stuff like that. That's what I really want in a helmet, and I'm being so specific on it, which is why I really haven't replaced this thing yet. The 25% less damage from crowd control or vulnerable enemies isn't bad because they're always crowd controlled or vulnerable, so that's an easy 25% damage reduction. Then we go with the Raiment of the Infinite, which is obvious. Makes your teleports, pull people in, which is super awesome. Stuns them and pulls them in, and this is absolutely BIS for this build. Like, you cannot replace the chest whatsoever. Don't even look at any other chests unless they're raiments. Frostburn, not totally required, but the cold damage increase and the critical strike chance is nice, but honestly, I can get rid of this critical strike chance. It's not a huge deal, but that 18% cold damage makes a big difference, and it just stacks on to, I think I got like 570% cold damage or something crazy. And yeah, cold damage is big, really, really big. The pants, something I'm looking for in the pants is intellect. I'm looking for 4 blizzards. And I'm also looking for damage reduction, not damage reduction while injured, just regular damage reduction, and health as well. So still looking for something new on those. They did buff. I'm pretty sure they buffed this. Standing in your blizzard, you take 25% less damage. I'm pretty sure they buffed that, but I want to trade this out for the 50% armor increase aspect. So that's definitely going to go on my pants if I can end up finding a better pair of pants. Boots as well. This is a completely wasted talent on boots. Critical strikes grant movement speed. Ooh, like this is not supposed to be here, but these boots are stupid. 3 to Frost Nova, 3 to Teleport, 3 to Ice Armor. Let me run to my stash real quick and show you the other ones that I'm kind of rolling on right now, but I think I'm about to give up because it's too expensive. So here we go. So we've got gain 25% movement speed after teleporting. So that's pretty much with 5 teleports, I'm going to be running fast all the freaking time. There's also a thing out there that I might be putting on my wrist, maybe. Either wrist or helmet, that increases your critical strike damage based off your movement speed. So I'm thinking of combining this with that, so we're constantly, doing more and more damage. That's just a thought for the future. But, once again, I'm trying to... So this is a pretty good roll for what I want, but I want the teleport to be movement speed, because I've used these. They're not bad. They're actually better than what I have, but without the actual movement speed on the boots. This one has 18.8 maxed out movement speed. Without that movement speed on these boots, the whole build feels super slow. So definitely want that. And I'm always looking for +2 to max evade charges so that we can get the additional, 3 evade charges on top of our one that comes with it. Weapons, I actually have a set in here that was main hand was Blizzard Ice Spikes and offhand was Deep Freeze Ice Spikes, but I ended up actually switching him because this is like a really good roll, man. 1312 DPS. This offhand took my damage like so much higher, and plus it has an insane roll on the Blizzard Ice Spikes, so super good. Either way, I highly suggest doing Blizzard Ice Spikes and Deep Freeze Ice Spikes on your main hand and offhand. It doesn't matter which one's which. Whichever one. Obviously, I still need to socket this thing. I didn't even freaking realize that, but I need to socket it and put a crowd control, critical strike damage to crowd control enemy ring in there, so that'll freaking boost me up another 12% damage. What's up, guys? This is See-Through from the future here. I just wanted to stop in real fast and tell you guys exactly why I chose Deep Freeze, because most people don't know that. If you look in the fine print, on the Deep Freeze Ice Spikes, at the very bottom, you'll see that it increases the explosion radius of Blizzard Ice Spikes by 50%. Keep that in mind. Get back to the video. Easy peasy. So I'm going to... the next is my Amulet, which is going to be 53% more damage to immobilized, stunned, and frozen enemies. So the way that this works, if you don't know, and this is the word on the street, okay? Someone told me this. I've actually had multiple people tell me this, so if I'm wrong, you go ahead and correct me in the comments if you want. But this is 53% more damage to immobilized, 53% more damage to stunned, 53% more damage to frozen. So for a grand total of 159% more damage if you stun them, freeze them, and immobilize them all in the same time. So when we teleport in, we stun them, we also pull them in, we freeze them, we drop a meteor, we immobilize, so we're automatically, boom, dude, like huge damage right off the bat. Like it's It's insane. This is almost worth running on a freaking staff because you get 70% increase. But at the same time, Amulet's probably a better place for it, especially for Blizzard. Running on. You could pretty much like mix these up however you want between the Amulet and the. God, man, it's like I'm famous or something. Freaking phone is just exploding. Recently made a switch here. So this is kind of interesting. And I'm not 100% sure if this works or not with Blizzard. And here's why. So I just put this ring on. It's a really good ring. 20% increased cold damage and vulnerable damage and critical strike. The only thing it's missing is replacing this damage to distant enemies with freaking critical strike damage, which I think can roll on rings, I believe. It's not a lot, maybe 20% or something, but it's still, pretty substantial amount. But when you freeze an enemy, there's a 35% chance they become vulnerable. I will tell you firsthand, I don't know, and there's a lot of stuff happening on my screen, but I have yet to see Blizzard freeze someone and make them vulnerable since I've had this ring on. I don't know if it's a bug, I don't know if it does it, but typically their health bar highlights purple when they become vulnerable, or they got the vulnerable text that pops up above their head, but I have not seen this actually work when being froze with Blizzard. So I don't know. I mean, I still don't have any problem making things vulnerable simply because of Frost Nova or whatever. But I don't know if this is actually working or not. But it seems like a great idea. More people vulnerable, more damage, faster clearing, easy peasy. Here we've got restores 4 of your primary resource when you crowd control an enemy. You're blizzarding everywhere. You're constantly getting mana. As long as you're hitting 3 or more targets, you're going to get your mana back real fast with Blizzard. So this is definitely required if you have any sort of mana issues. And I don't really have mana issues at this point, but it's kind of like one of those things I'm just attached to at this point. I don't know if it can roll any higher than 4, but that's what I've got. And that's pretty much my gear, man. So that's pretty much the things that make this work. Obviously, like I said, there's some upgrades and affix changes and stuff, imprint changes and stuff that I still want to make and will make. Also, attack speed. This is another thing with running one-handers. I was running staff for a long time. Don't run staff. I was addicted to staff. Find your one-hander and offhand because the attack speed for Blizzard is insane. If you run a Blizzard build, get you 2 one-handers. It's easy as that. More attack speed means more Blizzards, means more damage. You can also get attack speed on gloves, and that's what I want because you can get like 10% increased attack speed. And attack speed does not only work for your left click and your right click, it also works for your Blizzard. So you can spam the bejesus out of Blizzard if I get that attack speed on gloves. So keeping a lookout for that for sure. All right, let's go ahead. What do we got left here? Sorry. We talked about abilities, Paragons. Okay. Now, this is kind of seems like a mess, but I'll just give you guys a quick rundown. I'll take some, you guys can pause it if you want to copy what I've got going on. I'm not saying what I have is absolute best. All this is built just off of my brain, and there could potentially be something better. If you've got any ideas to make this build any bit better, dude, let me know. Let me know if you see something that I don't see, which is very possible. Let me know in the comments, but we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to pretty much highlight the rare nodes and the glyph nodes and legendary nodes that I took. From there, you guys can piece together, what route I took and what reason and why. So here we go. We got the Elementalist node here that's going to give us non-physical damage. We got 2 of those on here. That non-physical damage goes straight into our just flat damage increase for pretty much all elements. That's why when you go to your materials and stats, all of these elemental damages are increased by the same amount. We pretty much have 284% non-physical damage because we don't have any additional buffs or bonuses to Shadow, Poison, or Lightning. Fire and Cold are also increased by their self as Fire and Cold, not as non-physical. But we do have 284% more damage just coming from non-physical nodes, so keep a lookout for non-physical because that is just flat base damage increase, which is super nice. We've got the control glyph here that's going to allow us to do almost 100% more damage to crowd control enemies and deal 10% increased damage to slowed or chilled and 20% increase to stunned or frozen. So control glyph is really nice for this build, super huge damage. We've also got more non-physical damage here, more non-physical damage here. This board is oh god, what board is this? The Enchantment Master board is the first one I went with here. Quick, easy slot to the glyph. Elementalist is the one that allows us to deal additional damage if we do fire, cold, and lightning. Stacks 5% for each one, so additional 15% damage for 10 seconds, which is actually a long time in Diablo, to be fair. And then you just, rinse and repeat. Fire, cold, and lightning again. Fire, cold, and lightning again. Reset it every time. So this is huge. It doesn't scale if you go over 40 intelligence, so just keep it at 40 intelligence wherever you decide to put it at. We've got non-physical damage here, non-physical damage here, non-physical damage here. All that stuff adds up pretty nicely. Didn't bother going for the enchantments are 20% stronger. I really just wanted these non-physical damage nodes. The reason I went with this board. And also the easy access to the glyph socket. So screw this. Enchantments are 20% stronger. What's that going to do for us? It's going to make our firebolt hit harder, and it's going to make our, our teleport maybe make the cooldown of our teleport evade go down. I don't think that's going to do anything for us. So we come over here. We've got the Icefall board, which is going to be every time we freeze an enemy, we get a barrier, which is really nice. Because we're constantly freezing enemies. We go up here with the cold damage. We surround it with chill application and cold damage. This is actually the only place you can get additional chill application on the Paragon board as far as I know. So make sure you grab those up because you can't get them from anywhere else. We come down here, 30% additional damage to chilled enemies. Skip this one. We don't need damage reduction from chilled enemies. I mean, I guess at some point, if I go higher, and want to do tier 100 nightmares, I might need to start looking into this whole 12% damage reduction from chilled enemies. But I also don't think that counts as slowed enemies, frozen enemies, everything in between. It's just chilled, right? So I don't know. Up here, I just went to this one for the intellect boost in order to make the tactician here work, which is funny because it's not the one that I had in here. Either way, this is the one, that tactician is the one that you get 10% increased damage if you use a defensive skill. So teleport, Frost Nova. Boom, back to back. I'm always teleporting. I'm always Frost Novaing. So I just pretty much get an unlimited 10% increased damage buff, which is super nice from tactician. Let's see here. We got the chilled enemies. We've got 58.5% damage to chilled enemies. This also buffs all of our rare nodes by 95%. So pretty much the rare nodes are the yellows. So we get damage reduction from chilled here as well. That's probably why I went with that, just to take as much benefit as I could from that, 95% buff. Moving our way over here, we've got the Searing Heat board, which is going to give us more fire damage since we are doing fire damage. Now, this one specifically might be, something I'm completely throwing here. I still am actually 40 decks short of being able to even utilize this fully. But this was actually the last board I did, so I was grabbing up whatever I could here. And we're using the Enchanter Glyph, which is going to give us more non-physical damage, 72.6% increased non-physical damage, which, like I said, non-physical damage is king, man. Down here, we've got, this is our last board, I believe. Vulnerable damage, obviously. This is what board is this one? Hello, Frigid Fate. So I don't do any lucky hit chance stuff. Cold damage to vulnerable enemies increases your lucky hit chance. I don't care about lucky hit chance right now, to be fair. I really don't. I don't see any reason to be messing with lucky hit chance. So I'm not even messing with avalanche or lucky hit barriers or none of that. So, hey, what's up? Me again from the future. Let me know in the comments if you know this, but I was just looking at my Blizzard, looking at the spell Blizzard, and it says lucky hit chance % on Blizzard. Do you guys think that lucky hit chance actually increases the amount of enemies hit by Blizzard Ice Spikes, maybe? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the chat. I just wanted, this glyph socket, Frostbite. For each 5 willpower within damage range, you deal 11.3% increased damage to chilled targets. So 99.3 total damage to chilled enemies, which is nice. Once again, not 100% sure if this is the best one. I'm actually still missing some freaking how this exact same 5 blue glyphs are not yellow. I don't know how, dude. Every one of my glyphs are 15, and I'm working on getting them to 21. But, yeah. Anyway, sorry. I'm keep veering off the path. I apologize, man. I'm sorry I make this video so long, but, yeah. Frostbite. vulnerable damage, cold resistance. Once again, I think I pulled that for intelligence, but no, I didn't. I did do some glyph swapping around, so there might be some points in here that are completely useless, or just points in here that are used to, you know, help me achieve my dexterity, willpower, or intellect goals that I have to achieve in each one of these. But yeah, anyway, sorry. That's the build, dude. That's the build. It's a lot of fun. You know, my crits are anywhere, and I'll try and slow down some of that footage of what I just did in that dungeon there. Anywhere between, you know, 250k to I've seen 850, 900k. It just all depends on your rotation. Blizzard, 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 teleport in, frost nova, blizzard, blizzard, meteor, blizzard, 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 blizzard. And because you can, in 12 seconds time, you can get like, you know, 15 blizzards on the ground before they start disappearing. So, and they all stack in damage wise. So, yeah, man, I hope you guys have fun with this. And I'm sorry that I'm so scatterbrained. And if you made it to this part of the video, I want you to comment down below the word done, so I know that you watched the whole thing, because that's freaking epic and you're awesome and you deserve a shout out on the next video. So hopefully I will give you guys an updated video, maybe once I get absolutely everything dialed in, and we'll kill Uber Lilith and we'll do tier 100 nightmares. That's the plan. So stick around and let me know in the comments, who should I play next, or who are you guys going to be playing for season 1? That's going to be pretty insane. I don't know. I think I'm going to do a sorcerer, but I think I'm going to do electric or fire. Try and make it work, and try to not go back to frost. We'll see how it goes, though. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you live on Twitch tonight if you want to come by. Peace out.